Hello there, welcome to It's All Black and White TV. And yes, we're just going to have a little look at our new sporting director, Paul Mitchell. But before we get into that, if you do like what you see, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It does help the channel, means new viewers find it more easily. So if you can give it a thumbs up, that'd be fantastic. Also, if you're brand new at the channel, come in to subscribe. It is free to do so, helps the channel grow. I'm 13 away from hitting 1200, so please consider subscribing. Also, hitting that bell notification, that will tell you when I'm live. Have any pre-records or upcoming shows as well. If you want to become members, 99p, you can do that by clicking the join button. And if you want to make a donation, do that in chat, clicking on the $sign, using the super chat function, all money reinvested back in the channel to provide these shows for you. Yes. So, look, it's been a bit of a good week for Newcastle United, hasn't it? You know, after last Sunday, everybody was a bit like not really happy. We're happy in some ways, but we weren't in other ways. You know, that we got rid of Elliot Anderson and Yankuba Minte because we had to satisfy PSR. Which, let's be honest, PSR is the biggest pain in the backside. You know, and we know what PSR is all about as well. So look, we had the PSR issues, but look, thankfully we sorted all that out, and you know, we were able to avoid any sort of points deduction. Now then, not long after that, a couple of days after the PSR deadline, Man United decided to come along and take Dan Ashworth off our hands. So Dan Ashworth has left Newcastle United and has gone to Man United. Now, people were thinking the fee was maybe 10 to 15 million pounds. It turns out that it was actually 10 million pound. So well done, Newcastle United, because I tell you what, getting 10 million pound for this man, absolutely fantastic. Can't knock it. I think Ratface done this deliberately because he thought we might have failed our PSR, which would have meant we had a points deduction. But the fact we beat it, he's then coming and took Ashworth. Because if he's coming and took him for £10 million now, why couldn't you have done it a month ago, 2 months ago? So it just shows you, maybe that's what he was thinking, that we wouldn't beat the PSR deadline and we would end up with a points deduction. Well, to your information, Radface, it hasn't happened. And you know what? They're welcome to Ashworth. They are absolutely welcome to that snake. You know, Dan Ashworth can go out and get himself a wetsuit because he'll need one when you're sitting in the Niagara Falls Stadium. That is for sure, which is supposed to be the Theatre of Dreams. It's the Theatre of Wetness. That's what that place is, the Theatre of Wetness. You know, it's like the rivers of Babylon in there, isn't it? So, look, they're welcome to it. That's all I got to say on that matter. And all I say is good riddance to bad rubbish, because Dan Ashworth is no more. You know, maybe his garden looks nice now, but he's definitely no more now. So that's it. Dan Ashworth is gone. So, right. So, like I say, we had a lot going on this week, of course. And then next up, on Thursday, which was obviously General Election Day, we knew there was going to be one clear winner in that election, you know, by everything going on and all that. So we know there was a clear winner there. But one thing we didn't expect was early on Thursday morning, Newcastle drops a tweet. And the tweet that dropped is regarding this fella. Here he is. That is Paul Mitchell. Welcome to Newcastle. Paul Mitchell is our new sporting director. At last, we have a sporting director. Look, how long talks have been going on, we do not know. We know it's been going on for, well, since Ashworth went in February. We know we hired a company to look for a sporting director. Lots of names were thrown about. Guy from Benfica. You know, there was Johannes Spores, Paolo Maldini, Paul Mitchell was mentioned in there, among with other ones as well. There was that many, you know, you can't remember them all. And look, when this dropped, I was like, wow, that is an excellent appointment. I was really, really chuffed with that appointment, in fact. I thought it was a fantastic appointment, and great appointment. Anyway, so as we say, Paul Mitchell dropped in, and absolutely brilliant. Right. So then, what do we know about Paul Mitchell? That is the question. Well, we do know he's been very successful. He's 42 years of age, born in Stalybridge. When he started out as head of youth scouting back in 2008 for MK Dons, which then he went on to be the chief scout at MK Dons as well. What he did do at MK Dons, he played an important role in their consecutive fifth place finishes from 2010 to 2012. He then went on to Southampton in 2012, where he was head of scouting. Southampton, he contributed significantly after their promotion. Obviously, with his scouting and everything, he helped that club get to 14th, 8th, 7th, and even reach European football. He then went on to Tottenham Hotspur in 2014, where he became a scout. Then he was promoted to head of scouting at Spurs. Whilst at Spurs, he was instrumental in setting up their best era in football, which culminated in them having a Champions League final at Tottenham Hotspur. Whilst at Tottenham, he signed players like Son for 22 million, Kieran Trippier for 3.5 million, Toby Alderweireld, sorry, I'm trying to get his name right, Alderweireld, for 11 million, Dele Alli for 5 million. Obviously, when he was at MK Dons, he brought Dele Alli through the youth setup there. Southampton, he signed Sadio Mane for 10 million, Dusan Tadic for 11 million, Victor Wanyama for 12.5 million, and Graziano Pelle for 8 million. So some good players there he had at Southampton. I mean, Tadic is still going, isn't he? Strong, and and that was pretty much it. So after he left Tottenham, he then went on to RB Leipzig, where he worked alongside with Ralf Rangnick. Everybody knows Rangnick quite well because he was part of he was temporary manager at Man United, of course. He was head of scouting at Leipzig, but also for the Red Bull Group in total, where he was technical director for Red Bulls New York and technical director at Red Bulls Bragantino. So there we go. When he was at Leipzig, players such as Christopher Nkunku, he signed for 11 million quid, now at Chelsea. Dani Olmo, 17 million. Guy who scored last night for Spain. Looks a cracking player, by the way. Patrick Schick, who in the past, we've been linked with Patrick Schick. A couple of years ago, we're not linked with him as much now. But, he's been a decent player. You got him for 23 million. Matthias Cunha for 12.5 million. And Nordi Mukiele for 13.5 million. So, he brought some good quality players in there at his time at RB Leipzig. He then went on to Club Brugge as a strategic advisor before going to Monaco as a sporting director in 2020, where he was sporting director until 2023. But also in there, he was actually classed as a board member as well. So he was also a board member there. But when he was at Monaco, he played a major role in recruitment. He improved the youth academy. 7 of that academy made the senior squad. He found young talents, leading them to 2nd, 3rd place finishes in the last 5 years. Monaco finished 9th and 17th in the 2 seasons before Mitchell coming. So that tells you how much that guy has actually improved. How much he improved Monaco to the fact that they were 9th and 17th before he come in. And now he got them up to 2nd and 2 3rd place finishes because of the recruitment and the signings he brings in. Now, We know Eddie Howe has some says in the transfers, but I'm just thinking now that Paul Mitchell's here, that may be taken out of Eddie Howe's hands now, and it may be passed on to Paul Mitchell for him to do to buy in the players, to say to Eddie, there's the players, you do the coaching, that's your side. I've got the players for you. Because this guy has a massive portfolio and a massive probably file of facts. Well, they don't use them now, do you? But it's probably full of agents that he knows. And he probably knows some top class agents. He's got contacts all over the world as Paul Mitchell. And, it's going to be great for us. Remember, Man U wanted Paul Mitchell. He's turned them down. But he's turned them down to come to us. Chelsea also looked at him. So look, it just shows you that he wanted to come and join our project here, which is fantastic news. How long this has been in the pipeline, I don't know. Have we took him on after the PSR deadline, so it doesn't fall into the previous year and it falls into the new financial year of the PSR? So maybe that was a masterstroke to drop it on the 4th of July, which obviously not just General Election Day, but was also American Independence Day as well. But as I say, the guy's record, his CV speaks for itself. And look, things are going to get better. Let's be honest. Things will get better. And look, can't wait to see what he's going to bring to the club. We know what he will bring in terms of players. Some of his players that they've signed are absolutely fantastic players. Look at Marnie, went on to Liverpool, done really well for Liverpool. Now at Bayern Munich. But look, the future's bright. That's for certain now. The future is bright now. Any players that he doesn't think that will fit in our squad, that need moving on, he will be instrumental in that. I can assure you, he will be instrumental in that. The likes of Miggy now need to really fear their places now. We know Newcastle are actively trying to sell Miggy. That'll be put to the forefront now that Paul Mitchell's here. He started work now. And look, I think we're in for a bump at transfer window. I really do. I think this guy is going to, we're not expecting miracles, no, because, Rome wasn't built in a day. So we've got to take our time. But we've got the right man in charge now. We've got the right man in. And look, Dan Ashworth is a great sporting director. Let's be honest, he is a good sporting director. But I'm sorry, Paul Mitchell is streets ahead of him. And we've got him. And we're lucky to have him. So I know a lot of fans were frustrated about the fact that Paul Mitchell, not just Paul Mitchell, sorry, but they were frustrated. The fact is we were looking for a sporting director, but nothing seemed to be coming off quick enough. And then all of a sudden, bang, it drops out. There he comes. It's just fantastic. Everybody was buzzing at the news on Thursday. It came through on my smartwatch and I was like, what? I never guessed this in a million years. It's just unbelievable that we've got an elite, let's be honest, an elite sporting director now. And he's not just done it for clubs in the UK, he's done it in Europe as well. And that is the main thing. He's improved clubs in Europe. And the fact he's done that in Europe as well just shows you how good this guy really, really is. And yes, okay, you can look at his record and see he spent a couple of years there, whatever. But could be here for the long term. Let's hope he is here for the long term. Nothing's always forever though. So, in time, he may be here 3 or 4 years, maybe somebody else comes along and wants to take him on. If they do, that's part and parcel of football, unfortunately. He does do a lot of trading in football with players, so do expect some movement of some players going out the club. That could even involve Sean Longstaff, for instance, He might be the next one to go out the club. Who knows? Nobody knows. That's the thing. Nobody knows who's going to be going out the club next. But I'm sure Paul Mitchell will probably be handed control of transfers, which I haven't got a problem with. You know, I haven't got a problem with that. And look, I'm just excited for the future now. I really am. People were doubting. People were doubting the fact that where's the ambition of our owners? You know, what are we doing? We're selling these young players, you know, and we haven't got a sporting director. They were worrying about the signings we were looking at, likes of Emile Smith Rowe. Look, no disrespect, but I can't see there being much of that. Many of them coming through the door now. But look, Paul Mitchell will try and get us the best players we possibly can. Okay, Ashworth done well when he brought in Isak. I mean, that was a great signing. We acted quick on that one, and nobody knew about him coming in. Because it was all about João Pedro. Here we go from Fabrizio Romano, who said João Pedro's coming, 30 million quid from Watford. Then the deal sort of just went quiet, and then a couple of days later, next thing we know, Dan Ashworth's gone to Spain to go and pick up Alexander Isak and bring him back to Newcastle United. And everybody's like, oh, hang on a minute. I thought we were getting João Pedro, but now we're getting Isak. So what's happening with João Pedro? And he was totally dropped. So it just shows you, sometimes the right deal can just come along and you think, and you're in the middle of doing one deal and another deal comes along and you think, oh, hang on a minute, we need that player. This player's better. So you dump that player and go for that one. And that's how it works. That's how football works, And then obviously with Dan Ashworth, yes, he brought Tonali in. Look, when we got Tonali, I was excited by that because he is a world-class player, Tonali. Let's be honest. He is a class player. We didn't know the baggage he came with, though. We did not know he had this thing over him. And I thought it was a bit cheap at the time, but I thought, you know what? Fair play, we'll take it. But Tonali will be a better player next season. It'll be like a brand new signing next season. And we'll see a different player in Tonali because all that pressure's off him now. It's all off him now. He's done his rehab. He's almost finished his ban. I mean, not till August. So we'll see a terrific player when he comes back in Tonali once he gets going. Because more Premier League teams haven't really seen how good he really is. So it'll be like I say, a new signing next season. But Paul Mitchell will not only bring stability, but he will bring class to the team. He will bring us great players. I've read there what his record is, I mean, when you think he took Dele Alli to Tottenham for 5 million quid. Now, at the height of his career, Dele Alli, when he was at Tottenham and getting that England team, he was a superb player, Dele Alli. He was another, I wouldn't say, well, he was probably alongside Jude Bellingham, to be honest with you. But unfortunately, Jude Bellingham's like gone, boom, massive miles and streets ahead of Dele Alli, which it is. Dele Alli's had a fall from grace. We know why. He's had issues, mental health issues, all this and blah, blah, blah. But what we're seeing is this is what he can do. This is the type of player he can bring to the club. And we've now got to start trusting the process. So I say well done to our owners for doing this and getting him in. Because he was looked at by lots of clubs. So, we are lucky we got him. And look, as I say, things will get better. Things will get better. The future's going to be brighter. I believe we could have a great season next season. Yes, depending on what players come in. If Paul Mitchell's in charge and bringing the players in, yes, we know Eddie Howe's going to be under pressure. Because he's going to be under pressure to deliver. And there will be bumps in the road, like there was last season. We had the Champions League. Yes, we did well to finish 7th. We were unlucky not to get European football. It was just a freak of a season where you finish in 7th doesn't get you European football because Man United go on and win the FA Cup against all odds. They beat Man City in the final. A final you'd think, oh, Man City's got this wrapped up all over and they'll do the double-double, And that didn't work, did it? So, look, We just have to wait and see. But I'm still going for a top 7 finish next season. But once we've signed some more players, then I'll give more true reflection. But this was all about Paul Mitchell. But welcome to Newcastle United, Paul Mitchell. And there was his quote from the other day as well, where he says, "It's with immense pride that I accept the responsibility of being Newcastle United's new sporting director. I can't wait to get started and help continue the organisation's growth and long-term competitiveness in all areas of elite football performance." So even on there, he mentions elite football performance. So that shows you where he wants our club to be. And this is terrific. A terrific appointment. We beat Man U too. Shearer turned them down. Now Mitchell's turned them down. There you go. Man U ain't the club we think they are. And I think for the next few years, we'll finish above Man U comfortably. I really do. And I'm confident in that. Because the way I look at Man United, the way I see the way their owner acts on, when he's trying to lowball teams, like Everton, trying to pay 35 million for Branthwaite, and then to come out and say Branthwaite's not worth £70 million. Is this man deluded? Does he know the actual price of football? Because I don't think he does. But anyway, this is all about Paul Mitchell. But it's a great appointment for Newcastle United. I'm very excited for the future now. I think I'm more settled the fact that we have got a sporting director in place. And I think that was the key issue, that we didn't have somebody in place. There was talk of Nixon moving up to that role, but he's not. But I tell you what, we couldn't have got any better. We've got one of the best, Paul Mitchell. And let's look forward to a bright future. And let's hope we have a great season next season, and let's see what happens. It's a roller coaster. There'll be ups and there'll be downs, but enjoy it, Hopefully there are more ups than there is downs. Let the adrenaline flow. Enjoy being an adrenaline junkie, because that's the ride we're going to be on. So let's enjoy it. Let's embrace it. And we can't wait. Anyway, guys, this is a short video. So if you have enjoyed what you see, please don't forget to smash the like. It does help the channel up the search results, and it means new viewers find it more easily. So please don't forget to give the thumbs up. That'd be fantastic. And if you are brand new to the channel, come and smash the subscribe and be part of this great community. Help me get towards 1,200. Also hit that bell notification. That tells you when I'm live, have a pre-record, or any upcoming shows as well. So remember, the future's bright. The future is definitely black and white. And, I have got shows coming up, so do check out for them. But until then, enjoy whatever you're doing. Enjoy your day, whatever you're doing. How are you, the lads?